Before we begin, listen closely because some stories don't just stay on death row, they follow you home. So if dark, real crime cases keep you awake at night, hit subscribe, leave a like, and tell me in the comments, do you believe justice always gets it right? The execution clock read 23 hours, 12 minutes. Inside the cold concrete walls of Red Hollow State Penitentiary, the air felt heavier than usual, as if the building itself knew time was running out for inmate number 47291, Marcus Hale. Once known as a quiet paramedic in a small Oregon town, Marcus now carried a title no one could escape. Death row inmate, convicted killer. But tonight, something was wrong. Correctional Officer Daniel Ruiz had worked execution watch for 7 years. He had seen panic attacks, screaming breakdowns, last-minute pleas for mercy. Some prisoners prayed nonstop. Others refused to speak at all. Marcus did neither. He sat calmly on the narrow steel bunk, hands folded, staring at the gray wall like he was waiting for something, not dreading it. Ruiz cleared his throat. "You get your final meal request tomorrow morning." Marcus didn't respond. Instead, he asked a question that made Ruiz pause. "Do you ever wonder what happens when the wrong man is about to die?" Ruiz stiffened. The court's already decided that. Marcus slowly turned his head, his eyes steady, almost unsettling. "No," he said quietly. They decided fast. The case had been airtight, or at least it seemed that way. 5 years earlier, a young journalist named Lena Carter had been found dead in her apartment, the scene staged to look like a robbery gone wrong. Marcus's fingerprints were inside. His ambulance had been tracked near her building that night. Open and shut. At least that's what the public believed. But now, with less than a day left, Marcus had begun doing something unexpected. He was writing. Page after page, nonstop, in small, careful handwriting. When Ruiz finally gathered the stack of papers for routine inspection, he noticed something chilling. They weren't letters. They were detailed timelines. Names. Dates. Locations. And at the top of the first page, written in bold, underlined words, "This is how they framed me." Ruiz felt a cold unease crawl down his spine. Because buried halfway through the notes was a name that made his heart stop. It belonged to someone who wasn't just connected to the case. It belonged to a person still working inside the prison. And when Ruiz turned the next page, he realized something even worse. Marcus Hale wasn't counting down to his death. He was counting down to someone else's. Officer Daniel Ruiz didn't sleep that night. The name stared back at him from the paper like a threat carved in stone. Warden Thomas Brecker. It made no sense. Brecker had run Red Hollow State Penitentiary for nearly a decade. He was known as strict, controlled, almost obsessively procedural. And now, a death row inmate was accusing him of helping frame a murder. Ruiz read Marcus Hale's notes again, slower this time. The timeline wasn't random. It was precise. It detailed every hour leading up to Lena Carter's death. A phone call. That call had never appeared in official evidence. Ruiz felt a knot tighten in his stomach. Someone had deliberately removed it. The next morning, Ruiz requested a meeting with Marcus. Marcus sat exactly the same way, calm, focused. Ruiz slid the papers across the table. "Start talking," he said quietly. "She wasn't supposed to die," Marcus said. "You were convicted of killing her," Ruiz replied. "No. I was supposed to save her." Lena wasn't investigating random corruption. She was building a story about prison contracting fraud. Brecker's name was part of the evidence. Marcus explained Lena called him the night she died. She believed a prison transport crash had been sabotaged. Ruiz remembered the incident. 3 prisoners had died. The case had been buried in paperwork. Marcus leaned closer. "She had proof." Ruiz whispered, "Why didn't you tell the court?" Marcus replied, "Because the evidence disappeared. And the person who took it was supervising my execution tomorrow." Ruiz felt his pulse spike. Suddenly, alarms blared. "Security breach, administrative wing." Ruiz ran toward the warden's office. The door was forced open. The office was empty, except for one thing. A signed execution authorization form, dated 2 days in the future. The prison felt like it was holding its breath. Warden Brecker had vanished. No exit footage. His badge was still active. It was as if he disappeared. Ruiz stared at the execution form again. The delayed date made his stomach churn. Someone planned to delay the execution illegally. Brecker wasn't running. He was buying time. Ruiz rushed back to death row. Marcus was waiting calmly. "He's gone, isn't he?" Marcus asked. Ruiz nodded. "This was always the final step," Marcus said. Ruiz demanded the full truth. Marcus explained Lena uncovered fraud evidence. She called Marcus before she died. Someone else arrived first. "You were," Marcus said quietly. Ruiz froze. Marcus described the missing body cam footage. Ruiz remembered everything. He had been protecting himself. Marcus said he wrote timelines to force truth out. The intercom crackled. Execution suspended. Ruiz's world collapsed. Marcus had been waiting for justice. Guards rushed toward the cell. Marcus sat peacefully. If you think this story was intense, you're not ready for the next one. Hit subscribe so you don't miss it.